Level 1, the kid. You are 7 years old. Your dad signs you up for pee-wee football. The helmet is too big for your head. It wobbles when you run. You don't care. You love it already. The pads make you feel like a soldier. You smell the cut grass on the practice field. You smell the sweat trapped inside old equipment. Your coach is somebody's father who volunteers his evenings. He blows a whistle that hangs on a string. The whole offense knows exactly 3 plays. You run them over and over until they blur. Practice is mostly running in circles and chasing water. You don't understand the rules yet. You just chase the ball wherever it goes. The coach laughs and tells you that's enough. You line up wrong every single time. You run the wrong direction at least once a game. Nobody minds. You are 8, then 9. You take your first real hit in a scrimmage. It knocks the wind out of you. You lie on your back, staring at the clouds. Then you get up, because the other kids are watching. That moment teaches you something you can't name yet. You score your first touchdown on a busted play. You just kept running because nobody tackled you. Your mom screams from the metal bleachers. Your dad films it on his phone with shaking hands. You hand the ball to the referee like the pros do. The other parents cheer for a stranger's kid. A teammate's mom brings orange slices after the game. You eat them on the curb with grass-stained knees. You make your first best friend on that team. You will lose touch with him in 20 years. That night, you sleep in your jersey. You refuse to take it off. You want to be a real football player someday. You don't know what that costs. You don't know about the surgeries. You don't know about the concussions. You don't know about the men who never walk right again. You just know the ball feels perfect in your hands. You know the crowd noise lives somewhere in your chest. You practice in the backyard until it gets dark. Your dad throws you spirals until his arm gives out. You drop most of them. You catch a few. The few are enough. This is the beginning. This is where it always begins. Level 2, the middle schooler. You are 12 now. The game gets faster and the boys get bigger. Some of them already shave. You make the school team as a running back. The coach is a teacher who also handles history class. He treats practice like it actually matters. You learn that football has a language. Cover 2, blitz, audible, gap, hole, pull. You memorize plays from a thin paper binder. You run them until your legs burn. You hit a real blocking sled for the first time. It hits back harder than you expected. He still throws you spirals on Sunday afternoons. His arm is slower now, but he never says no. You add 10 pounds of muscle. It happens in a single year. You eat everything your mother puts in front of you. You drink protein shakes that taste like chalk. You measure your arms in the bathroom mirror. You compare yourself to the older boys constantly. You count the days. You wait to catch up.
You can already feel yourself getting stronger. You are faster than most kids your age. The quarter saying your name to each other. You met a rival from across town named Marcus. He is the only kid faster than you. You hate him and you respect him at the same time.
You will play against him for the next 10 years. You score 11 touchdowns that season. The local paper prints your name in small type. You cut it out and tape it to your wall. Your mother frames the article and hangs it in the hallway. You start to understand that you might be good. Not just good for your town. Maybe good enough to matter somewhere bigger. You also start to understand the cost. You miss birthday parties for 2-a-day practices. You skip video games to study film on a laptop. Your friends drift toward easier hobbies.
You let them drift. The bone is the only thing that makes sense. You are TV and you have already chosen. You just don't know it.
You grow 3 inches over the summer. You come back to camp transformed. The coaches notice your speed in the 40.
You run it in 4.6 seconds. That number changes how they treat you. You become a starter as a sophomore.
Friday nights become the center of your universe. The whole town shows up under the lights. The band plays and the cheerleaders chant. You run out of the tunnel through a wall of smoke. The crowd roars and you forget to breathe. You score 4 touchdowns in your first start. Your name goes up on the stadium scoreboard. Strangers in the grocery store know your face. You are a local celebrity at 16. It goes to your head for a while. Then, a linebacker from a rival school humbles you. He hits you so hard you see white.
You lie on theater and the license. The trainer home up finger and asks your name. You the right answer this time.
Your mother begs you to quit after that hit. You tell her you are fine, even though you are not. You go back the next week without a word. You sit out one game and come back angry. You learn that football takes as much as it gives. You watch a teammate tear his knee in practice.
You hear the pop from a group the field. He is carried up and he never play again. He become a quad later, still limping.
You watch film until your eyes blur. You skip parties to run hills on Sunday mornings. You meet a girl named Sarah at one of those parties. She asks why you train so much. You don't have a good answer for her. The truth is, you cannot imagine stopping.
She does not care about football at all. His exactly why you like her. Your stay just high and now to keep playing.
Your father stops throwing you spirals now. His arm gave out for good last year. Instead, he sits in the stands every Friday. He never misses a single game. By senior year, you are the best player in the county. You play Marcus won last time in the playoffs. You beat him by a single touchdown. The letters start arriving in the mail. College coaches want to talk to you. The dream is no longer just a dream. It has an address and a phone number. You are 17 and the phone never stops ringing. Level 4, the recruit. You are 17 and the phone never stops ringing. College coaches call your house at dinner. They send letters with school logos on the envelope. They mail you handwritten notes about your highlight tape. They tell you that you are exactly what they need. They tell every other recruit the same thing. You learn that recruiting is a sales pitch. You are the product and you are also the buyer. Coaches fly into your small town to visit. They sit on your mother's couch and drink her coffee. They promise playing time and a path to the league. They promise to take care of you like family. Some of them are lying and you can't always tell. You take official visits to 5 different campuses. They roll out a red carpet at every stop. You watch a packed stadium shake under your feet. You eat steak dinners with the head coach. Players your age show you the locker room and the facilities. Everything is bigger than anything you have ever seen. You are a teenager being courted like a prize. It is intoxicating and it is also a warning. The schools that want you most need you most. Your high school coach helps you read between the lines. He tells you which programs develop players and which ones use them. He tells you the graduation rates nobody advertises. He reminds you that most recruits never make the pros. You listen because he has never lied to you. The pressure follows you everywhere you go. Strangers offer opinions on where you should sign. A booster slips you a phone number and a wink. You hand it back because your father raised you right. You lie awake at night, weighing schools like a man twice your age. You watch film of every program that wants you. You imagine yourself in each of their uniforms. You picture your name on a stadium screen. You picture the crowd. They are standing for you. You picture your father watching from the stands. That picture is enough to choose. You change your mind a dozen times. Then, you finally decide. You commit to a big program. It is deep in the South. You sign the letter on National Signing Day. Cameras flash in your high school gym. Your mother cries and your father shakes the coach's hand. You put on the new hat and smile back. You are a 4-star recruit with a full scholarship. You think you have already made it. You are about to learn how wrong that is. The boys who were stars in their towns all arrived together. Now, everyone in the room was the best somewhere. The ladder resets to the bottom again. Level 5, the college player. You arrive on campus in the brutal heat of August. The first practice nearly kills you. You vomit on the sideline. You keep going. The speed of the college game is a different sport. Players who were giants in high school are average here. Players who are average are suddenly invisible. You redshirt your first year to develop. You watch from the sideline in street clothes. You learn the playbook that is thick as a phone book. There are hundreds of plays with dozens of variations. You study it harder than any class you take. You are a student in name and an athlete in truth. You wake at 5 for workouts before sunrise. You lift, you run, you watch film, you attend class. You practice for hours in the afternoon heat. You collapse into bed and do it again tomorrow. There is no off-season and there is no rest. Your body becomes a machine that you maintain like a car. You learn that your body has an expiration date. Every player learns this eventually. You play through pain because everyone plays through pain. The trainers give you injections so you can suit up. You don't ask too many questions about them. You learn which trainers will tape you up quietly. You learn that pain is a problem you solve alone. You start to see your body as a tool you rent. You ice your knees every night. You do it in silence. You hide the limp. The coaches never see it. You tape over the pain. You play on. By your senior year, you are an All-American. The scouts come to watch you with stopwatches and clipboards. They measure everything about you like livestock. The next level is finally within reach. You declare for the draft and hire an agent. You leave school one class short of a degree. You promise your mother you will finish it later. Level 6, the rookie. You train for the combine like your life depends on it. In some ways, it does. You run drills in front of every team in the league. They time your sprints and measure your jumps. They interview you in hotel rooms about your character. They ask about your family and your past. They are buying a multi-million-dollar asset and they are careful. You sit in your living room on draft night. Your whole family crowds around the television. The first round comes and goes without your name. Your stomach drops with every pick. You try to stay calm. The cameras are watching your face. Then the phone rings in the second round. A team on the other side of the country wants you. You are now a professional football player. Your mother screams the way she did when you were 8. Your father just nods with tears in his eyes. You sign a contract worth millions of dollars. The numbers do not feel real on the page. You buy your parents a house with your first check. You finally pay them back for every early morning drive. You pay off the truck your dad drove you to the gym in. Then you report to camp and reality arrives. Every man here was a star at his college. The slowest player on the roster is faster than you imagined. The playbook is thicker than anything you have studied. The veterans treat rookies like furniture. You carry their pads and fetch their breakfast. You earn nothing until you prove yourself on the field. You make the team, but you ride the bench. You play on special teams and cover kicks. You sprint downfield into violent collisions on every play. It is the most dangerous job on the field. It is how rookies earn their place. You take hits that would have ended your high school career. Here, they are just Tuesday. You learn that the league is a business first. Players are cut without warning or apology. A man at your position is released on a Monday. By Tuesday, his locker is empty like he never existed. You realize you are one bad season from the same fate. You start saving your money instead of spending it. You watch teammates blow fortunes on cars and jewelry. You watch them get cut and lose it all. You promise yourself you will not be that story. You buy one nice car. You buy nothing else. You put the rest away for later. You know later always comes faster than you think. A veteran warns you that careers are short and bills are long. You hold on to your spot with everything you have. The dream is real now and so is the fear. Level 7, the starter. You earn the starting job in your third season. The man ahead of you got hurt and never recovered. You stepped in and you never gave it back. You are now one of the best at your position. The stadium chants your name on Sundays. Your jersey sells in the team store. You are a star. You have made it. You just don't know how long it will last.